Ew. What's good, everybody? Mo 3 times, talking shit, getting clicks. We're back here again. It's so cold out here. So damn cold. So cold. Yeah, what's everybody doing? How's everybody doing this evening? Please let me know, because one more time. I'm Mo 3 times. Welcome to the We live shows, Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. And tonight, let me tell you, Django's in the building. Love is not in the building. She's in Mexico. She is. Yo, this is crazy. Oh, you know what? I think I know what's going on here. No one likes me, and we don't care. Go Birds! I'm just waiting for everybody to get in here. Taking my time. Time I am taking. Oh, that's the frozen tundra. I'm just waiting for everybody to get in. Yeah, the frozen tundra. Oh, and I'm broadcasting here. I don't know if I shot it out to the group chat, but I will. Might as well. Ramid's in his house. Ramid just got a big ass TV. He just got himself a new TV. I don't want to put your business out there, but we're celebrating. Oh, look at those new steps. Parents got new steps. They look good. Like colonial style. Ooh. Man, it's freezing out there. Last week I came in here and talked about, it's unseasonably warm. I was with Love. I was like, Love, it's unseasonably warm. And I'll tell you about November is cold from my journal. November is cold, done settled on these parts like a jealous spirit. Last night the wind howled through the towns as if it sought to warn me of the foolishness mankind insisted on doing. The frozen tundra is so damn loud right now. I sit here by the light of lamp, ink sniffing in the bottle, recalling that my dear Ev Love has ventured south, far south, to the warm lands of Mexico on business. She tells me it's work. Yeah, each time she calls back, she's either inside a shopping mall or eating a feast fit for royalty, or both. I think tonight she was at a museum looking at beautiful works of art. I reckon the only business she's conducting is between her fork and the cha-ching of a cash register. But even in this cold, the world heat finds its way to my doorstep. Word travels fast. Even across this frozen frontier, folks speak of a young woman named Sydney Sweeney, catching hate in every township. They whisper that the Democrats bent their knees to the GOP once more, giving up their provisions without so much as a musket raised. And the federal men of justice have released letters, dark letters, tied to one Epstein, carrying secrets like wolves carry bones. There's also a tale of a TikTok wanderer who exposed the faith of our churches like a lantern held up to a cracked cabin wall. A woman called for aid, seeking sustenance for her baby child. Yet the doors of compassion stayed shut, as if winter had frozen them from the inside. I know, children. I reckon we must speak on all of it today. And though my companion Ev is off in a warmer land, living off churros and duty-free temptations, I, mo 3 times, remain here at this humble outpost with the JumpOut Gang at my back.
Many people know them as the JumpOut Boys in their city.
The fire burns, the truth calls, and the night is young. Let's get it. Yeah, I'm done writing. Stop scribbling. Stop scribbling. 3 times. That's me, Mo. What's good, everybody? Everybody, what's good? Let's go over here. I don't know what's going on. Where am I? Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of that. But we're not even going to worry about that. Oh, because then I do that. I move cameras and then stuff gets stuffed. Insane. Chat is in the building. JumpOut Gang.
Many people know them as the JumpOut Boys in their city.
That's right, you are looking at a new We Live t-shirt. And these I've made to order. Hit me up. I know my barcode. I forgot my barcode again. I forgot my barcode this week. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Frankie D, Ramid, love, Caro. What's good? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Democrats caving. We're going to talk about a lady that was just calling churches asking for formula from her baby and the results she got from that. That's like going viral now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, they've had these files, these emails for years, but we've gotten a little bit more of some Epstein emails. Right? From like way back, like 2011. Like 2011. You see this? I probably had like 1. No, I didn't have any. I know, right? Yay to that. Epstein, lady asking for donations. What am I missing? The Democrats caved. And what else? I'm missing something. See, Love's not here. She will remind me. She's always there to remind me. Oh, yeah. And then, more Sydney Sweeney. What? Oh, that's how you feel about her? All right, well, whatever. As I take my sip from my beverage, I know someone surely spit in. All right. What's up, Reese? I'm honored to be back. What's up, everybody? Warm blessings. Peace. You in the house tonight. I mean, I got him. I walked 4 miles outside today. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Ramid got his 55-incher. This is what we're doing. Love is looking at beautiful works of art right now. I see Michael Teasley in here. Michael Teasley, everybody in here seems like they're just they're saying in the chat, something that they've done today, something that they've done good for today. Ramid got the new 55-inch. Kato walked damn near a marathon. Frankie D's honored to be back. What's going on with you, Michael Teasley? Give us something that will make us go. Please do, because we need it in these days and times. Because it's like I said before. Frozen tundra out here in these parts. I gotta stop. I did not mean to hit that last time. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Ramid did food pantry today. Did Michael Teasley just say get old? That's crazy. I am getting old. Speaking of getting old, my beautiful Miss Wendy, my mama celebrated her birthday just this past weekend, November 8th. She is now years old. You know what I mean? Give it up for my mama. They threw a surprise party, came through, ate, laughed, sang, shimmy, gave hugs and kisses, took pics. It was a great night. It was a great night. I always enjoy being around those people. As you can see, it's the Wee live show. Live is sitting right near where your heartstrings would be. On the right side, boom, you got the JumpOut Gang. I'm sorry, on the left side, you got the JumpOut Gang. And then on the back, if I swivel all around, and you know what, I'll give you my back. Excuse my back. But yeah, we got the JumpOut Gang right there. You may not be able to see it, but yes, let me tell you what. Yeah. Hit me up in the chats. I'll direct you to my social medias. Then we'll get your information from there. We go from small to, I think, XXX. You know what I mean? And these are made to order. This t-shirt I'm wearing, you can't see it because this camera is just like so. But the collar on this, it's this thick. Like from the inside of my thumb to the inside, it's put together, well-structured tee, 100% cotton. Like, you're gonna look great. You're gonna feel great in these. Come on, bro. Lay down. Lay down. You're doing too much here. He's yawning. He wants a snack. I'm here with the dog. Miss Wendy. What we gonna talk about first here? Should we go into? Listen, it's been a crazy week. I feel like Mr. Mom this week. I've been cooking banging ass meals for the household, and it's been a crazy week. But we got some breaking news, roughly around 9 hours ago, from the place we call CNN, the liberal news outlets. Let's check out, see what we got.
All right, we do have breaking news in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, minutes ago, literally, releasing emails that they say were written by Jeffrey Epstein that explicitly, specifically mention Donald Trump by name and in context that we really haven't heard before. Let's get right to Caitlin Collins, who's got this reporting. Caitlin, what are you learning?
Yeah, John, these are emails that show Jeffrey Epstein mentioning Donald Trump by name multiple times in private correspondence that he had with people, including Ghislaine Maxwell, obviously his longtime associate and accomplice, and also the author Michael Wolff, in a time span of about the last 15 years or so in these emails. Now, these are coming out from the House Oversight Committee. They had issued a bipartisan subpoena to Jeffrey Epstein's estate, John, as you know, earlier this year. And so they've gotten their hands on a trove of documents. And these are emails that included Jeffrey Epstein on them. They were sent either to him or from him that mention Donald Trump before he was in office and also while he was in office during his first term. And I want to walk you through these emails of what exactly we are reading in Jeffrey Epstein's own words in these emails that have been released by the House Oversight Committee.
Oh, yeah. We're about to walk through this. We're about to walk through this right now. Let's go for it.
And in one of them, Jeffrey Epstein says, and I should note, Trump did not send or receive any of these messages. He's not a party to these emails, John. But these are emails from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. This is one from April 2nd, 2011. And in this email, Jeffrey Epstein writes to Ghislaine Maxwell and says, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. There's a name that's redacted, which the House Oversight Committee has said is a victim of Jeffrey Epstein's. Obviously, we have not been able to independently confirm that because her name is redacted from this email. But they say redacted spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." Ghislaine Maxwell responds to that email, John, and says, quote, "I have been thinking about that." Now,
what does that mean? Here's the email. I took the headers off of it because I just chopped the headers off of it. But this is basically the same. This is the same email that they are showing you here. Well, not this one. The house has never been mentioned. Police chief, I'm 75% there. I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. They slashed out the victim's name, but it's safe to assume here right now that this would be Virginia Guffrey, right? Spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. Could this possibly mean that when Epstein was being figured out by the law and felt the heat coming down on him, that perhaps, just perhaps, he may have thought that, hey, maybe Donald Trump's got something to do with all of this. Maybe he is cooperating. Or it could be something totally different. Let's finish this. Let's go.
There's
through
no
this.
context for that message in this release of what we're getting. Obviously, this was a time span, and this was about 3 years after Jeffrey Epstein had accepted what is now known as that sweetheart deal that only got him a few months in prison, and something that came under a ton of scrutiny during Donald Trump's first term in office because of his then Labor Secretary Alex Acosta, who helped negotiate that plea deal, that sweetheart deal, for Jeffrey Epstein at the time. And so that's the context of this came about 3 years after he had negotiated that plea deal, John. And there's also other emails that have been released by the committee this morning, including between Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Wolff. People will remember Michael Wolff, of course, the author who wrote a book on the inner workings of Trump's West Wing back in 2018 during his first term. He is someone who has talked at length about his own correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein, published audio recordings of those conversations between the two of them. And in another email, and this seems to be a reference to Donald Trump saying that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club. And Jeffrey Epstein writes to Michael Wolff and says, quote, Trump said he asked me to resign. And he adds, John, never a member ever. Of course, he knew.
Oh, that's a good stopping point. Let me show you guys who Michael Wolff is, who we're talking about. Because if you guys watch any of these news outlets, I am sure you have seen him before. This is author Michael Wolff. That guy. Michael Wolff. Back to it.
About the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Now, again, we don't have the context of this email, but John, that comes as in recent months, we've heard President Trump himself and the White House say that Jeffrey Epstein was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep. And Trump himself told reporters on Air Force One that he was trying to poach women, he and Ghislaine Maxwell, from the Mar-a-Lago spa. And that was why they had such a falling out and why he ultimately asked Jeffrey Epstein to leave the Mar-a-Lago club. Now, there's also a third email in here, John, and this is, again, in regards to Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Wolff. And Michael Wolff emails Jeffrey Epstein, and this is back in December 15th, 2015, so the height of the 2016 campaign, just to put that in perspective for you. And it was the day of a CNN Republican primary debate. And Michael Wolff says, quote, I hear that CNN is planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in a scrum afterwards. And Epstein wrote, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? Michael Wolff responded at length, John. I'll summarize it. But he said in regards to Trump, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt.
What? Michael Wolff is talking to Jeffrey Epstein like they are very, very chummy. And it's crazy because Michael Wolff has written like at least, I believe, like 4 books that aren't totally showing Donald Trump in the best light. Exhibits A, B, C, and 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. he's very critical of Donald Trump in these books. So it does make sense that he would be talking to Epstein, who was probably at this time him not on the up and up with Donald Trump, but I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, and we've heard him actually say this previously, and that he is Donald Trump, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency, possibly. And then he says you can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, this is December 2015, he's running for president, probably a front runner at this time, you could save him generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal, which is basically what he did say back in those days. We were critical of it, said, hell, like he's wishing this guy, like him and Ghislaine Maxwell, he's wishing them like good luck on these cases that they're facing. That sounds crazy. But he says, is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in the Trump regime. Michael Wolff was like a oracle on this email here to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, let me show you. CNN is releasing these documents right now, these emails. These came from the DOJ. This email here specifically is in 2015. There was one, the second one I believe was 2019, and the first one was 2011. So at one point, Trump is still like the apprentice. The next point, he is a presidential hopeful. And then the next point, he's already been president and has gone through it, and they have been talking about this case. The crazy thing to me is that this is 2015, 2011. The DOJ had this email in 2011. Y'all listening to me? That's a fly landed dead on my mic. I can't believe flies are alive right now in this cold, this frozen tundra. But still he remains. Just like Trump does. Yo, if they've had these files since 2011, since 2011. Barack Obama's DOJ had these files. Right? 2015, it's still, Barack's out now. It could be Hillary. But the Department of Justice still had these all. Then they had them during Trump's first term, did nothing. And then 2019, he has emails going back and forth before, Jeffrey Epstein offs himself. And Biden, Obama, Trump, Biden. Like, I understand Trump not wanting these out, letting these out in the wind. But still, it was his first term. And we remember his first term. Everybody was getting fired because they didn't take that oath of loyalty. They were still loyal to the Constitution and the citizens of America. But it still didn't come out then. I am trying to piece this together in real time. Like, this is crazy. I'm looking at the chat. Condolences. Frankie D and the Trout family. We live. But here we go. All right, let's finish this.
Now, I'll note, John, we looked at the transcript of that CNN debate from December 2015. There's no mention of Jeffrey Epstein in there. And of course, as I mentioned, Donald Trump himself is not a party to these emails. But what this shows is Jeffrey Epstein mentioning Donald Trump by name multiple times at a moment here in Washington when their relationship has come under incredibly intense scrutiny, John.
Caitlin, as you mentioned multiple times, we just don't have the context surrounding any of these emails. But that first email you read, the language absolutely jumps out to me. This is April 2nd, 2011. Epstein writes to Ghislaine Maxwell, I want you to realize the dog that hasn't barked is Trump, blank. And blank here is one of the alleged victims of Jeffrey Epstein. A victim spent hours at my house with him being Trump. He has never once been mentioned. Now, again, we don't have the context surrounding that, Caitlin, but this kind of language from Jeffrey Epstein himself, how often has Donald Trump, what has Donald Trump said about contact he may have had or time he may have allegedly spent with some of Epstein's alleged victims?
Yeah, and John, just to be clear, the woman, the person whose name is redacted here was redacted by the House Oversight Committee before they put this out. That has been a huge point of focus as people have demanded the release of these documents, is to be able to protect the survivors and the victims. We have not been able to independently verify who this person is. The committee is the one doing the redacting here. But obviously he is referencing someone who Jeffrey Epstein says in this email from 2011 that spent time with Donald Trump at his house. And so,
all right. I mean, CNN is trying to be journalistic and not exposing who is who in this. But I know somebody who will.
About the new Epstein emails that have been released by House Democrats, separate from why you believe the emails were made public, can you address their substance? Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
Oh, sorry about that.
I have your statement about the new Epstein emails that have been released by House Democrats. Separate from why you believe the emails were made public, can you address their substance? Did the president ever spend hours at Jeffrey Epstein's house with a victim?
These emails prove absolutely nothing other than the fact that President Trump did nothing wrong. And what President Trump has always said is that he was from Palm Beach, and so was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile and he was a creep. And this email you refer to with the name of a victim that was unredacted now and has since been reported on in this room, so I will go ahead and say it, Virginia Giuffre. And it was CBS's own reporting, Ouija, that recently wrote that Miss Giuffre maintained, and God rest her soul, that she maintained that there was nothing inappropriate she ever witnessed, that President Trump was always extremely professional and friendly to her. And so I think it's a question worth asking the Democrat Party, and you should all go ask them after this briefing, of why they chose to redact that name of a victim who has already publicly made statements about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and is unfortunately no longer with us.
I get it now. Amazing. She might be making points, though. Like, why would you redact the name Virginia Giuffre? Like, anybody in the know knows that that is a statement that Virginia Giuffre said. Then she committed suicide after saying she would never harm herself. I mean, Epstein's dead too. So she's asking the Democrats. Then the Democrats have had one, two. Yeah, they've had two administrations that have had these files, and they did nothing with them. This is crazy. Like, the only reason right now that I'm not just saying that, hey, you know, Virginia Giuffre had to say what she had to say to keep her life intact. I think a lot of people would think that, even though it didn't work out the same. But, like, as I'm puzzling this out, it's like she's making points, but she's really not making points. Like, obviously, because he said that he never went to the island, and we're getting information that indicates that he may have been at the island, and not just at the island, but he spent time with an underage girl for hours. I mean, even if he was he spent multiple hours alone with an underage girl, and she said he was nothing but professional, and that's what Caroline Levitt is. I am so... Virginia Giuffre is not the real name, Michael Teasley is saying. It's a different name. Oh. Bro, lay down. Lay down. Please. My dog's out of control. But then Freshco says, why are they calling emergency meetings if they prove, and he's absolutely right, because the White House is calling emergency meetings regarding this. Calls emergency meetings today. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to click on this. Yeah. The White House press secretary, Caroline Levitt. Let's get past this little thing. I'll play this video from CBS News. Let's throw it up there. Why not? I have no idea what this is going to say, by the way. We are live. Don't waste our time, CBS. We're looking at these freak-ass ads. We want to see the White House, how the White House is overreacting or reacting to Epstein emails. We want it with sound.
News from our story at the top of the hour. We have just received the statement from the White House in response to the release of
It's a statement from the White House. Please do not expect much. That's all I can say. I'm just throwing this out. I haven't watched this clip yet.
Alleged Epstein emails from House Democrats this morning. This is from the president's press secretary, Caroline Levitt. Quote, the Democrats selectively leaked emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump. The unnamed victim referenced in these emails is the late Virginia Giuffre, who repeatedly said President Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever and couldn't have been friendlier to her in their limited interaction. The fact remains that President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his club decades ago for being a creep to his female employees, including Giuffre. These stories are nothing more than bad faith efforts to distract from...
Yo, I think we're solving cases here with Michael Teasley. Let's give it up. CNN ain't stupid. CNN doesn't, like, the Trump administration will do whatever the hell they want to do. I think we've all recognized that since the Caroline Levitt getting on in front of the entire nation and telling lies isn't anything that isn't new. CNN deciding to keep that name still redacted in its reporting, even though they could have easily shown it unredacted if what Caroline Levitt is saying. So that would actually, I am with Michael Teasley on this. It would indicate that that redacted name is not that of Virginia Giuffre's. Yeah. And then that would also indicate why they are right now, as I'm probably speaking, most likely, having a meeting on how they're going to game plan for this craziness, because I know this, and I'm pretty damn certain. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to be like certain in these days and times, because we've seen the craziness over these this last year. But yeah. If you are connected to, he's already been connected to Jeffrey Epstein. But it seems like a lot of this evidence is rolling in. It's not looking good. And that ballroom is going to be used. I told you it's a bunker underneath there. It's going to get ugly out here in these streets, because this guy is not going to just give up power. Look, first of all, these are just emails. We all believe, I think a lot of us believe that there's something funky going on. I think it's not a Democrat-Republican thing for most of us, because me being an independent, I'm going to tell you that when they said Bill Clinton's name came up, I had no problem saying, well, he needs to go to jail. He needs to, well, go have a trial first so we can figure out everything that's going on, and then he needs to go to jail. If he's guilty, he needs to go to jail. Whoever's guilty of interfering with a child should go to jail at the very least. I think we can all agree on that. I understand that there's people out here in this United States that don't give a flying fricassee about anybody's babies. We know, the whole SNAP thing. They want the kids to eat. But this is what we have. CNN can do whatever they want to do. No, CNN can't. And the reason why CNN can't is because we know that this Trump administration is highly, what is it called? Lawyerized, if you will. Right? If CNN popped out with some craziness or anything like that, the Trump administration would be filing lawsuits for $1 billion as we speak. So I'm thinking that they have to be extremely careful. Like I said before, Caitlin Collins did preface by saying that these documents that they obtained came from the DOJ, that these documents stem back as far as 2011, the ones that they're showing us right now in this little clip. Right? So, boom. This is what we got. I trust CNN right now to be walking the straight and narrow. I believe that if it was like Carolyn Levitt said, that it was just, unredacted, then Carolyn Levitt, what's her name? She would have been like, Caitlin Collins would have been like, hey, we got the redacted name, and it is, in fact, Virginia Giuffre. Now, even if it pops up to be Virginia Giuffre, then it would just pop up to be that. It's really not really going to change anything. You know what I mean? But I am leaning like what Michael Teasley said. She just straight up lying in that the name that has been removed, has been redacted, is not Virginia Giuffre's. It is some other person's. Shout outs to the veterans. That's right. I forgot. Shout outs to the veterans. This whole thing is still brewing. You know what I mean? You got to remember the government authenticated the documents, not the claims inside them. All right? That's a big difference. I'm trying not to get sued here. Evidence of what was said, not necessary evidence of what happened. We do need to have some additional context to this, but it's not looking so good. And we're going to realize that still when billionaires and presidents share the same type of sentences, the kind that mentions victims and resignations and girls, that is not a coincidence. It seems to me like it's a culture over there. It's a culture where, power is always going to protect itself until it's forced to squeal. And I think Jeffrey Epstein was about to squeal. And that's when, and Virginia Giuffre was like, whatever, y'all did me so dirty, I don't care what happens, I'm going to tell my truth. And then that's what we get. So as the emails make their way through the headlines again, you got to ask yourself this. When the dog doesn't bark, pun intended, when the dog doesn't bark, is it loyal or is it because it's guilty? Let me know. Drum rift. That's right. Call in 313-825-5557. My call lines stay open. You know the number. You know it, gang. Let's talk about it. Yeah, because it's silence. Silence is definitely not golden. It's evidence. It's evidence. It is effing evidence. Yeah, so for yesterday, for the plan for Veterans Day was for me and Flashback to get together, right? We was going to go get our Red Robin burgers for free. And then we were going to go see a motion picture. This motion picture, I thought he would like to watch because he's a sci-fi junkie just like myself, is none only not only, is Predator Badlands. I am a fan of the Predator franchise. I'm not lying to you. Let me throw it up on the monitor. There it is. Right there. We went to go see this movie, and I made the mistake of getting it in 3D. And the reason why it's a mistake is because anytime I put those 3D glasses on, it's too much for my brain, and my brain shuts down. I go to sleep. Plus, we ate like a whole bucket of popcorn and had a big-ass drink. And then he's like, you want some M&Ms? I'm all crunching in the movie theater. And he's loud, you want some M&Ms? I'm like, nah. All right, I'll take some. Shook over my hand like dice, ate them. Yo, but this movie really wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. Yo, don't see that Ghislaine Maxwell was given a comfort puppy. I know she was we talked about her being placed in a minimum prison, but I didn't even know about this comfort puppy. I mean, by all means, call in if you want to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the Democrats caving so badly because it hurts my soul. But yeah, Predator Badlands. It's not what I was expecting. It was pretty good. It was good. It was a good movie. I can't wait for it to come out on like Hulu, because it's definitely got to come on Hulu because they got the whole series. But it'll come out on Hulu and I can watch it at home and really get into it. Because it was good. It gave you a little bit more behind the Predator lore. You went back and kind of, you got to see a little more in depth of, the Predator culture or whatever. The Yatoja. I don't know how to say it. They're aliens, whatever, with crazy dreads and killing mortalities. And they are like basically the Spartans of the universe. It's insane. Watch it. We live, talking shit, getting clicks. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Yo, so last week was a very good week for us because it was Wednesday. We came back after Tuesday, and last Tuesday was election day. And it seemed like the Democrats gained a bigger foothold out here in these different parts of America. Even in really conservative places, they gained some Senate seats, some state Senate seats in Mississippi, like 2 of those, and everywhere around. And they were doing good in these battleground states. And as you know, we were having the longest government shutdown of basically all time of human history, which is crazy because it only comes in first place. The president that got this record is Donald Trump, but he also has the second highest record because the last government shutdown he did. So these government shutdowns, what they did was they threatened to take SNAP benefits away from families who needed them, and a lot of federal workers were fired, laid off, furloughed, and simply just not paid. Now, here's the thing with government shutdowns. You're a government employee, you're not getting paid. Once you come back to work, once the government is open again, whether they fired you or not, or you get to come back to your desk, they have to pay you back pay. They must pay you back pay. That's not like something that can be negotiated. Although I understand in this administration where they do whatever they want and usurp whatever laws, policies, constitutional or otherwise, like legally, they can't. They gotta pay. So, boom, that's one thing. Then with the SNAP benefits, that was already going through the legal process, the justice process again. And the Supreme Court was saying that, hey, you gotta feed these people. And not partially. It got to the point where, you gotta give them full benefits for the month of November, which is great, right? Now, before these elections and everybody turned up and turned out for the Democrats, meanwhile, let me tell you again, I am an independent. I am registered independent. I know I come in here and I talk trash about Trump administration and the GOP all day long. I know I do that because, it's It's not because it's easy. It's because it's necessary, because they do so much trash that, like, my focus has to be on this dog over here. This dog's over here, like, licking himself and splashing water around him. This dog is rolling around in mud and trying to come up in the house, shaking and acting stupid and foaming out the mouth a little bit. I gotta pay attention to this dog, all right? So this is where it's coming from with the we live. You be like, oh, you're always talking liberal talking points, whatever. Yeah, I am. Because these MFs right here are so effing dangerous. So dangerous. But we had an election and we was like, oh, wow, this is going to make 2026 look good. These, like the midterm elections, boom, we're going to be rolling around. This is a mandate that the people are done with Donald Trump. By then, I was going to come on this week and be like, yo, Chuck Schumer might have something going. Because we've been talking about this back and forth. Chuck Schumer was talking about the plan was to wait till Trump's popularity dwindle. And that's what was happening. We're winning elections. Before that, a couple weeks before elections, over 7 million people. Over 7 million people. Way over the 3.5, very close to the 3.5 that's usually needed of voters to make policy changes. They were all out, loud and proud, for the No Kings protest, part 2. They came out. It was looking like a nice fight between the Democrats and the Republicans. It looked like they had some things going. I showed you last week at the end of the show, I showed you how American citizens were handling this thing with the SNAP and people, not being able to eat. And I showed you how this guy had set up a little food, basically a food market in his garage, like a food pantry in his garage for people to come and get food. And somebody had stopped by and stuffed cash in his mailbox so he could keep it going. It showed that the people of America, the citizens of America, we were willing to take care of each other out there. That we were willing to, this government shutdown, we were going to tough it out so we could get the things that we wanted. And what is it that we wanted? What message? Because they always blame the Democrats on terrible messaging. What is the message that we got from all of this? We got that the government is shut down right now and the Democrats refuse to help open it up because there are no provisions to carry on with the tax cuts created for the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, aka Obama Care. If you're going to shut down the government, that's a beautiful way to shut down the government. Our health is... Look, listen. Because of these cuts, there's going to be about 20 million people that's going to lose health insurance. Out of that, people are going to die because of that. These are the things that we've been talking about. People are going to die as a result of you cutting health care. Not only that, the people that can kind of afford health care are going to have way harder time affording it because these premiums are about to go through the roof, which they still are. We're going to do a show next week because I am in what they call open enrollment, and I didn't have the energy to do it this week. But I will do it before this week is out, and I will show you. I am going to show you how much I'm going to have to pay this year compared to last year, or what services I'm going to cut off so this shit can be managed. Honestly, I'm going to go through it just for the YOU, some, regular grown man, American household type ish, right? I'll show you those savings next week, right? So we go through all of this. We get these votes. We get people toughening up. Yeah, maybe a little crime is going to rise because there's no food, and because you're killing food for people that live in food deserts. Kind of crazy, but they had a righteous ass fight going. And you know what? After election, Chuck Schumer and the boys they found 8 Democrats from swing states, or Democrats that weren't running for re-election, or Democrats that had just won re-election, so they got enough time for all of us to forget the fuckery that they just pulled on us. 8 Democrats crossed the line and voted to open up the government back. And guess what? You know, the biggest part about it, what just is so damning to me, is that they didn't even get anything out of it. They got the promise of a promise that they're going to talk about a promise, basically. Not all, kids, not all. Hit them with the real. Exactly. Ew. I listen to Lawrence O'Donnell like every morning when I'm brushing my teeth because he just goes in on Trump and he does it in his little funny little way that I like. You know, helps me get up and get ready for the day to face the world. And you know what he said today, Lawrence O'Donnell? He was like, yo, he's like, you Democrats are going crazy right now. You guys are blaming these guys because they sort of caved and people are angry and people are upset. But you know what? This is the third inning in a ninth inning ball game. And you guys are booing your team. Listen, I am a Philadelphia sports fan. If you're not doing what you're doing, you're going to get booed. So that left no mark on my heart when he said that. But I understand what he's saying. He's like, listen, your team's trying to do it, and you guys are sitting here, and you're booing them for it. And they deserve to be booed, Lawrence. I don't care, unless you got some inside information that, hey, they said they were going to do this, and they were going to do this, and it's ironclad, and it's going to go through. I don't want to hear it. They gave up the moral high ground for a promise of a promise. Have you heard about the Black Friday weekend boycott? I'm sorry, Love's not here, so I gotta read. I gotta read right now. Bells hit me with, yeah. I've already been on that. There is no Christmas presents coming to nobody. This shit's a wrap. We're gonna do Thanksgiving this year, and I didn't fight it, even though I did want to fight it. But all of this is scrapped. I'm gonna hang out with my peoples. We're gonna eat good. We're going to spend some time together, play some great games. I got some great games for you guys. And that's what we're going to do. Maybe little kids might be able, because they're still little babies, they might be able to rap. But honestly, to me, should get the little babies in line. They shouldn't even be expecting it. Don't even hurt their feelings. Get them started early. And this boycott, to me, this shit ain't just going to be, this is going to be, I don't care who's the president next cycle. I'm done with all of this madness. Independent. I'm done with all of it. I am anti-capitalism. Now, I'm going to throw that out there. I am totally anti-capitalism. We went to go see Predator Badlands yesterday. There was 8 people in the movie theater. Our tickets came to $40. We got 2 sodas, 1 popcorn, 1 bag of candy. That was another I spent $80. I spent damn near $100 for me and Pops to go to a movie. What are we yaying, kids? What are we yaying? More like it. That's more like it. What? Obviously, it's my Pops. Oh, yeah. By the way, Flashback rang the bell today. He rang the bell. Them shits are done. Them treatments done. Right? Congratulations to you. Seriously. 80 doll hairs for 2 movie tickets. Oh my God. And some snacks. One time we went to movies, and Love went to the movies, and it was Winnie and Diddy. So we were Winnie and Dickie, and we kind of having a little double date. We met up to go to the movies. So we get to the movie first. I got the tickets. I'm waiting for them to get there. And she's like, all right, well, let's go hop in the snack line. I'm like, nah, babe. I don't really want anything because I already know the blood in my bones don't want to pay for these pricey ass snacks. The popcorn ain't even like it used to be real, and they had I'm not going, that's too much. All right, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I like a little cherry Coke a cherry Coke and a popcorn. I'm not a regular everyday cherry, but when I go to the movies, that's my thing. A cherry Coke, a popcorn, some Reese's Pieces, or the plain M&Ms, so I can mix them with the popcorn and get that salty sweet, and then bang it with a They got Pepsi products in there now, and I'm not mad at Pepsi products. It's just not right for the movie. I like Pepsi. I do like Coca-Cola, but they're just for different occasions. You got to use them. They're not for all occasions, man. They're just not. Love you, Pop. But yeah, anti-capitalism. Yeah, so that Black Friday, nope. Don't. I'm sure a lot of us are blessed. We have more than what we need. But Black Friday, fucking Green Sunday, Red Saturday, Blue Tuesday, you're not getting none of my green money. That's the realness. You're not. Shake it off, Jangs. Shake them off. It's not happening. That is my whole thing about the boycott. My boycott is y'all should be done with all of this madness. Yo, you know what we just learned down the past year and a half? We learned that all of those, and I still see people doing it. We know that all the Gucci, Balenciaga, we know that all that fancy stuff, all those crazy bags, all those shoes, we know the glasses that you turn up all this. We know it all comes from one company. We know that they mark it up thousands of %. We know what we're wearing is not quality stuff. Nothing's quality anymore. My mama gave me a dryer, and that dryer came from the early 90s. And it still runs. You know how many washer and dryer sets that I've had that have been brand new and that have been totally wrecked? They don't make stuff to work no more. I'm complaining now. I know I'm complaining. I'm complaining because that Black Friday sales boycott set me off because it shouldn't be for Black Friday. It should be for the rest of your life. Stop buying this bullshit. As I talk to you on my TVs, J's on feet. Calvin's in the waist. I know, I can be a little hypocritical right now, but still, that's the goal, is to end all of this. People are talking about we gotta do farms and grow food. Grow your own food right now. And we'll pray that we don't have to rely on it. But it's just a good practice. We gotta get back to these basics, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, because the world lied to us. A lot of us, my age, a little older, a little younger, they lied to us. They said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be good. You're going to stay out of trouble. You're going to go to school. You're going to get that degree, and you're going to go on. Then they budged. They said, you got to get a little higher degree. You got to go to school for an extra year or two, get that higher one. You're going to be great. And then they said, oh, no, just go to school a little longer. You're going to be great. And for some it did, but it did not work out for the most people. So when I see somebody that has a PhD literally serving me my latte, that shit sucks, bro. That person went to school. They learned how to do everything that they were going to do. Even if you got a job that's not get your major, it kind of shows you going to school is not the easiest thing in the world, bro. I don't know nobody who hasn't had that 4 a.m. I'm crying to death. I'm crying and I can't make it. And you got to pull yourself through. That shit's tough for those classes. And they were promised jobs. And there are no jobs. Matter of fact, they're selling your jobs to AI. Your job is going to be a robot job now. So how dare somebody go online and say, oh, you got to work harder. Man, out of here. We've been in this civilization too long to be. We should be just chilling and writing poetry by now. This is crazy. Those aliens aren't going to come and they're not going to let us go to the next dimension because we are evil people. We're evil. Stop. Just say, I'm going in. Love's not here to stop me. You need a dishwasher. I need a dishwasher. I'm always fixing something. Nothing works the way it's supposed to work. You pay 3 times the price for something that's 3 times less the value. It is. We are getting screwed out here. Screwed and abused. So then when I see the Democrats cave 40 days, People not getting paid. People's stomachs rumbling. People trying to figure out how they're going to get. And you know what? A lot of us was like, you know what? It's got to be done. You got to do it. Get it done. And they did nothing at the end. It was for naught. For nothing. They got nothing. It's like the like if you're going to talk football, it's like the Republicans are like Howie Roseman. You know? You're like, oh, man. You're getting top tier all-star athletes, and he's giving you 4th rounders. Take them 4th rounders. Give me the best you got. That's what's going on here. The Democrats just took a 4th round draft pick and traded A.J. Brown, Aaron Judge, and Wembyama for 4th round draft picks to be announced later if they feel like doing it. Bosh means power in Arabic, just so you know. Power dishwasher. Yeah, I got a Maytag. Remember a Maytag man? He sits in a little office because the products are so good and he's the Maytag repairman that he never gets a call. If he gets a call, it's like the wrong number or somebody, something like that. We don't even have the Maytag man anymore. The Maytag man is a subcontractor that doesn't have to follow the Maytag policy or anything. They make their own rules. I know. I had to get a microwave fixed. I paid $110 for this guy to tell me that my microwave was broken. I paid $110 for this guy to tell me, yo, your microwave's broke. Like literally, I am not lying. That's when I wanted to just give up on all of this craziness. There was no humans in the Predator movie. I gotta rewatch it because I was watching with the 3D glasses. It don't count. I know he Rocky 3'd it. Like this Predator had to get it out the mud. And I don't know. They call it Badlands, and it really is Badlands because honestly, the environment that Predator was in was so beautiful yet so damn deadly. So damn deadly. But it was great. Check it out if you're into stuff like that. If you're into The Notebook, you're not going to like this movie. But if you watch any of the Predators and you're like, oh, yeah, like, boom. You could ask them for a refund. Lord. Yeah. Then I'd be doing a show about myself right now, probably. All right. So Democrats caved. Let me know what you think about that. 313-825-5557. Epstein emails. Let me know what you think about that. 313-825-5557. I wanted to go see Begonia. Right? But I was like, Pops is going to love this one. I went to see that one. But Pops, we got to go see Begonia. Yeah. They take this lady hostage. They say she an alien. And honestly, from the trailer, I think she really is an alien. I think she is. I think it's going to be a crazy movie. And it's an A24. You know A24 be making the weird ones, but they be good. Good storylines to them. Sometimes surreal, but definitely excellent flicks. Oh my God, right now, I don't know if I think I need a jump riff. We live. Call-in show. And my call lines is open. Love's not here tonight, guys. It's just us right here now. It's just us. 313-825-5557. Call me because I'm so lonely right now. I want to talk to you guys. I do. Call in. Shoot the shit with me right now. Really.
It got worse.
No, it doesn't.
But I feel like it's about to get worse.
No, it's not.
Oh! It got worse.
Oh.
It got worse.
It did.
It got worse.
Got an ant
It's gonna get worse.
right here.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy. That's right. You're looking at the wee tea. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. The JumpOut Gang official. In black. Hit me up. It's time for a new chair. You hear this thing? It's all squeaky and it's crazy. I'll tell you what, I got a bald head. There was no humans in a Predator movie. You could ask them for a refund. You can buy a microwave for $100. No, you can't. You can't buy the microwave that I have. I got the under-the-counter joint. My microwave, you can put a metal pot in my microwave. You can literally put a metal pot in the microwave and it'll cook that food and not burn up the microwave. Have I tried it? No. But that's what it says. Not for $40. You're not, LOL. Stick them up. Thank you. Actually, this is your t-shirt. This is yours. I made this one specifically for you. And I meant to give it to you, but I didn't. And then I was like, oh, I need a shirt to wear for the show tonight. So I got this one. So, yeah, here you go. I'll give you this one. Give you this one. Promise. My armpits are fresh. It's not going to stink or nothing. All right. What else do we have here? As I just ramble on through this show aimlessly. I already did my rant for the day. I don't know if I feel like doing any more rants about how anti-capitalist I am. I just came out as anti-capitalist this evening, and it's not something that I really think about. That just came out. Kind of as a reflex, and I'm gonna go with it. That's how I'm gonna live my life from now on. I'm not a part of the capitalism gang, Even though these shirts are for sale, just so you know, it's gonna cost you $25. I know, but it's 100% cotton, and this is crazy. This collar is crazy. You're never gonna get bacon neck on this collar, just so you know. Let the children sing. Let the children applaud. Hit the air horns for that. Structure. This is not no Fun Slam t-shirt. This is a good t-shirt. I found a t-shirt connect. Finding a good blanks t-shirt connect is one of the hardest things in the game. Anybody who makes their own tees and sells tees or any type of merch will tell you this. And for some reason, I have been blessed to find one of the best t-shirt maker MFs out there. Talking shit, getting clicks. You're talking with 3 times. If we are on in the background, please turn the sound down and then please talk clearly into the handset. Sir, do not put me on speaker.
If I don't want to.
And if you don't want to, come
I
on.
can't hear.
Don't make me do it.
Now, I have a question for you. Speaking about the Epstein thing.
Love Loves in Mexico.
The lady, his partner, the only one
Ghislaine
that went
Maxwell.
to prison.
Yeah, G-Max.
Well, I don't know if I'd use the right nomenclature for it, but the last thing I heard on the news, they was complaining because what's the correct name for those dogs for people like
emotional support animals?
Yeah. What's the correct name for those dogs?
Oh man, here
my
it is.
Understanding, they gave her one in prison.
They are saying they're saying she will get a puppy in prison.
They said she will get one.
That's what the headlines are saying. Let me show you. Thanks for bringing this up because this came out 2 days ago. I can't believe I haven't. Hold on. Ghislaine Maxwell will be barred from service puppy training program at lax new lockup over child sex abuse record. So they are barring her. Now, I'm sure if it didn't get out into the news and everything, and it'd have been just, hush hush, just whatever's there, I don't think they would have did that. But I've seen like documentaries where they have the inmates are raising like pit bulls and stuff like that. And usually those guys are pretty good with their animals. Like, you have to have a certain, type of disciplinary record there. You got to be in good standing at the jail, basically a little bit trustworthy so you can work with those animals. They're held to a higher standard. They can't have any infractions or they'll be kicked out from the program. So these type of programs are really good for inmates. For Ghislaine Maxwell, I'm going to agree with you and say that no, she don't get no little puppy, no cute puppy to raise. And then a lot of times it goes to like inmates who, previously worked with animals and had good things there. But thanks for bringing that up. That's crazy. They even attempted to put her in she's already in oh my God. They sent her to a nice little low security prison. There has been reports that she is basically having the time of her life there. I know it's she's come a long way from Manhattan penthouses and, island villas. But, when you're, in medium to maximum security in prison, going down to low, after a couple of years that she's been in there, because she's been there for a couple of years fighting this case, she's probably in like Disney World. It probably feels like Disney World to her. Lax rules. She doesn't have to watch her back as much because, the inmate clientele there are much, much softer. And she almost had a puppy. She almost got a puppy. But this is also the New York Post saying this.
She's actually the living file.
I'm sorry?
I said she's actually the living file. Everything you want to know, you can get it from her. And
do you believe that? Do you think her telling the truth is what got her into that little cushy prison? Or do you think she... Pops, when she got out of jail, remember they went down to Trump's personal lawyer, who's now in charge of something in the Trump administration, went down and met with her, and they stayed for 2 days with her, and they had laughs and they had jokes, and they talked about what went on with the case in a nice casual way. And after that, she was moved, and she damn near got a puppy until the people found out about it. This is showing in August, so they might have given her a puppy back.
That's my point. If you're talking about fouls and everything that they wait for the open, the problem and the solution at the same time is her. She's the living foul. If anybody know everything about anybody,
it's her. And she's going to talk, but she's not going to tell the truth either. Like, do you believe she would tell the truth?
My point is she's not going to tell anything because of the same situation that they treating her now. She's the scapegoat. That's the sacrifice that she's going to make, and probably do less time. I even hear the possibility for Trump to even
pardon her. Well, yeah, they've already talked about pardoning her.
She'll write a book and
get a little change back. Yeah, they'll do a little money laundering with the book sales there, because you know how they pump those sales up and everything like that. Yeah. My thing is, they've had those Epstein files for so long. You would think that they were. I was totally convinced that they were going through there and scrubbing any type of mention to of Trump in them. But what's crazy is that you got a journalist, right, who was having back and forth emails with Epstein. You got a dead Epstein, and then you got a DOJ that's had this information since 2011. You got a journalist that goes on national media multiple times per week and mums the word about unclassified emails he was having with Jeffrey Epstein. Department of Justice failed to present any of this material in the Barack Obama administration, in the Trump administration, one, when there were still bureaucrats in that administration, or in the Joe Biden administration. 3 administrations. Crazy ass evidence against this man, and not just him, but him and all of those people in that sector. And here we are. I know, good standing in jail.
Well, that's the problem. That's what Trump said is Biden for.
I'm with that. Blame them. They should have been released it. And that's another part about the Democrats caving that, like, I don't think people like Lawrence O'Donnell understand. The Democrats have been caving over and over and over again. You know, and they've been accepting so much, and they try to play nice, and we know that we know that the Biden administration, the DOJ, knows about the fake assassination attempt. We saw him walk across that stage and look back like, oh, I got something to tell you guys. And I don't know what he had planned or what he was going to do. I'm of the firm belief that the Democrats are just trying to keep everybody still trusting these institutions of government and still trusting this government so it won't fall apart, you know, to keep this whole entire government grift going, because we both know that it's both sides. We know it's both sides that are jacked up. We're just giving a little bit more attention to this side over here because it feels like our humanity is at stake. But the Democrats
the nickname,
are now
the nickname
accomplices.
For Democrats, right?
I mean, tell me. I got so many swirling in my head right now.
Well, it's actually pronounced Democrats.
That'll work. No. There we go. Yeah. Ew.
Bunch of demons.
I don't see an M at all in there, but a name is a name is a name.
Well, I got some event.
How many foreign leaders on that list? This is flashback. The JumpOut Gang are ill in these comments. I'm not going to lie. You guys are giving me life. I'm trying to get through these comments. I love it. But I'll say this too, like I see you guys in his comments. Don't forget, please, like throw me a like or something, a like or share or something like that. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm trying to.
How many foreign leaders are on the list? Flashback. How many foreign leaders could be in this Epstein list?
How many foreign leaders?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I have no idea, and I haven't even gave no thought to it. But I say like this: everybody's gonna crack up laughing because you know what's taking them so long to release the file.
What's that?
They say right now it's so many papers they have to go through, and you know how they take the magic marker and black out names.
Yeah, they got to redact
and all that. But by the time you look at the file, each page probably has something like 10 words on it.
Exactly.
That you can actually read.
Exactly. And so far I think there's over 33,000 pages to go through.
That's what I'm saying. They got to block out everything they don't want you to know before they release.
I mean, that's good, but they can still, all right, they don't have to necessarily release it to the public, but they can release it to those committees in there, right? Those people are read on. They have security clearances. They know names and stuff like that. They can self-censor.
Who, his family?
No, the people that are in those congressional committees that are going to be talking about this case and basically litigating this case, that are going to be reviewing. You know, they always got a little committee that they put together.
Just like
those committees.
Like he placed charges on the sister from New York, where
of course
he wanted to sue for what was it? The almost the same amount that he thought he was going to pay for the ballroom.
The ballroom.
What was it, like 230? What it was like
230 million.
230 or $50 million.
Yep. We talked about it right here on the show. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. This doesn't feel real at all. And I'm starting to suspect it isn't. None of this is real. None of this is real. Anyway, basically what they're going to do is they're going to open up Snap and they're going to open up the government. And then basically what they're saying is, hey, let's talk about this After the new year, because then they'll start opening back debates in January of 2026. But honestly, the Democrats could have kept this whole thing shut down until they got exactly what they wanted. That's what they could have did. And it seems to me like with the shutdown, the TSA guys weren't getting paid. Everybody has to fly. I mean, whether you're flying, you're sitting in coach or steerage, or you're on your private jet, you're going to need a TSA guy to guide you out. And it was being reported that a lot of those TSA peoples were having to take on secondary jobs as Uber just to make the ends meet while they were waiting for their government check. So they say a lot of the reason the government was reopened is because of that. I showed you last week the lines at the airports and air travel, and that's a lot of money. So I think they're trying to make it go back to business as usual. And that's all well and good, but we're not in any type of business as usual political climate at the time. And I think this time needs to be met with something a little bit more severe than just, the longest government shutdown in forever. It should have been a lot longer, and there should have been a lot more things that came out of here for the good of the people, or else those 40 days were just a waste to me. Now, if there's something that they got a brewing, then that's cool, but it does not seem to me like the Democrats have had any type of plan at all, other than Chuck Schumer's let Donald Trump get very unpopular and then we'll start throwing some weight around, but they haven't thrown any weight around.
Only thing the Democrats had to do the real proving from that side, even with this shutdown, was to automatically call out the Republican, MAGA, and Trump. And just like he said when he was running for president, he has a concept. And everybody knows, even with this, they have no plans of what they could do to correct it or make it any better or make prices lower, just like his party and people that vote for him already upset for the lie that he made about lowering prices and making everything better for people to live and survive. And then going back to this shutdown, when it comes to the Republicans, the main thing I see now with the shutdown, where they were saying how families is suffering, people for medical, which they won't mention, but for a fact, there's people dying right now. There's children sick right now that it's not being taken care of, which show they have no apathy or compassion for the people, just their personal wealth and paycheck. And that's the whole joke. And the biggest joke, what they said before in the past when they was fighting over the abortion law. It's like, how you be concerned about abortion and saving babies when you're not even taking care of the children that's suffering right now, that's living? How you doing their education? You won't even feed them for lunch. The biggest thing that we have in this country,
exactly,
the greatest waste that they talking about is food.
All right, so as you go on, I'm just throwing out, these are the people, these are the Dems that voted against it. Angus King, Dick Durbin, and Jeanne Sheehan.
Well, I digress.
Maggie Hassan. Nah, go for it. Oh, Tim Kaine. Do you guys remember Tim Kaine? You remember Tim Kaine? Tim Kaine? Wasn't he like...
Not really.
Well, he was Hillary's vice president pick when she was running. And then now that's what he's doing. Catherine Cortez Masto. Jackie Rosen.
Well, you know me. when it comes to, like you said, looking at this for reality, we live in, to me, like I said, we live in these days a time. Another thing I can sadly say on this side, in the truth, you shall reap what you sow.
I like this. I like the color purple curse. Nothing good is going to come until you do right by me. That's what you need to hit them with.
There you go. And my whole thing, I never in my life have ran out on Black Friday fighting people to try to, especially just to get a toy.
No.
Please.
No, I know, Pops. I know, Pops. I know you've never done that.
Yeah. Well, my thing for my support this year,
I still got that hammer doll.
Not to shop on Black Friday, so it won't affect me or my pockets or my family.
Sure won't. You don't need them gifts. We got gifts downstairs. Like the kids go to their family's house and they come back with, every year they come back with big ass lawn, like the lawn, the big tough lawn bags you use for lawn and, put your scrapings and everything in, of toys and everything. So much so that I went down to my basement, which is cluttered and crowded, like looking for stuff to like just clean up. And I keep finding the bags and they haven't even gone through those bags. I'm talking about clothes, toys, books, all of that stuff is getting donated.
Well,
that's what's going on.
Come over here and get the rest of your stuff to donate.
Yeah, but check out what Bernie had to say about all of this. You're with me. Stay on with me and listen to Bernie real quick. Check it out.
Okay, go ahead, do your thing.
Well, during Trump's first 4 years, he had virtually nothing to say about the crisis, nothing to say about it in the next 4 years, but I'm glad that there is some discussion. The truth of the matter is, in my view, that the current healthcare system is broken, it is dysfunctional, and it is cruel. But I want to ask my Republican friends a simple question. Are you happy with the fact that here in the United States, we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child? We are unique. That's not the kind of exceptionalism we should be proud of. Are you happy that we are paying twice as much per capita for health care, over $14,000 per person, than any other major country, and yet we have 85 million Americans who are uninsured or underinsured? Are you content with the fact that the insurance companies and the drug companies are making huge profits, paying their CEOs exorbitant salaries? Are you happy with that? Are you happy that patients in America have to get on the phone and fight like crazy and deal with all kinds of bureaucrats in order to get the health care that they paid for in an incredibly complicated, broken system? So if you want to have a debate about health care, let's have that debate. I happen to believe that we should join the rest of the industrialized world, guarantee health care to all people through a Medicare for all single-payer system. You got a better idea, bring it forward. But what we should agree upon is that you don't raise premiums by 100%, or in some cases, triple or quadruple. Let's take a deep breath. Let's extend these ACA subsidies for another year. Let's have that debate on health care. That's what the American people want.
With that, I will take your questions.
Yeah. I mean, listen, those words aren't just for those men and women that were sitting in that caucus. Not at all. Those words are for us as well. If you had a family member, or if you've been hurt, if you had to deal with insurance companies and the paperwork and the phone calls and the rejections and the appeals, if you've ever had to go all through that while you were sick, that's a damn shame. You don't deserve it. I don't know where that accent came from, but you don't deserve it. This is stuff we need to demand. If it's important to you, if it's important to your neighbor, this is what we demand.
They ain't gonna listen to nobody that's running around with what's that cartoon show with the blue people?
Smurfs?
You think they gonna listen to a man that's on the cartoon with the Smurfs? What's his name? Tamalathul. I can't pronounce the name correctly. Tamalathul or something like that.
Gargamel?
That's who Bernie Sanders.
Gargamel.
That's who
Bernie Sanders looks like Gargamel. That's crazy.
Gargamel.
He does not. He does not look like Gargamel at all. I'll pull up Gargamel right now. He does not look like Gargamel at all. He looked like he could have been your president back in it, but we already know about the Democrats. We know about the Democrats. Come on, independent.
He's socialist.
Oh, he's an independent that ran as a Democrat. It doesn't matter because Trump was a pedophile that ran as a Republican. So I mean, oh wow, I didn't mean that. I guess it is talking shit when it clicks. Come at me, bro. Hey, yo, check this out. Pops, what do you think about this? There was a lady that's going around TikTok, and man, Pop, she found the perfect formula. Because, you know, TikTok, you got to get those views. And I think she found the formula by asking one important question. And that important question is, I have a hungry baby. Can you provide some formula for me? And she asked those questions to the places where you think that straight up and down, they would be like, no problem. Except there was a problem. Check this out.
To see if they would feed a starving baby.
Hold on,
I'm calling your church to test if they would feed a starving baby. And right now we are calling the First Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas, to see if they would feed a starving baby.
First Baptist Dallas, this is Sheila. May I help you?
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if y'all by chance had any like baby formula.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I have a 2-month-old and I ran out of formula last night, so she's gone all night and all day without formula. I was wanting to see if there's any way y'all could get like a small can of baby formula.
I can transfer you to our benevolence. Hold on.
Okay.
I can transfer you. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta cut in. I can transfer you to our benevolence. No little power or strength in her voice. No, hey, I know you're going through something. Goody good tidings. She is calling the church, by the way. You know.
At the
The voicemail. We're gonna call back.
When you finish.
That's a fake baby crying in the background. This lady does not have a baby at all. At all. She doesn't. She's just doing an experiment to see how many churches would say yes to that request of, hey, I have a hungry baby right here. I need some formula. Now, She did get some great responses, like, hey, what kind of flavor of formula do you need? She got some terrible responses. She got some hang-ups. She got some no's. She got put on hold just like here and sent to voicemails that went to basically nowhere. And what she did on her TikTok, if you check it out, what is her name again? Nicolene? I'm out of clue. It's Nikaylee Monroe. She's at Nikaylee Monroe on TikTok. And she did a spreadsheet tracking every church that said yes or said no. One of those churches in question, if you guys have ever listened to Joel Osteen, and I have, because, I mean, like, he gives you some good pep for the day, and he keeps you in some good spirits. But Joel Osteen's church, the church where the Houston Rockets used to play, I mean, if you've ever heard one of his sermons, he always throws that in, that he's in an arena where the Houston Rockets used to play. But even Joel Osteen, with all of the resources that he had, went down on her paper as a no, because she would have to wait weeks for that blessing to come to her if it was going to go through his church. Meanwhile, there is a crying, although fake, but a crying baby in the background, and she's asking for formula to feed that baby. There were some responses from churches. Let's see one of those responses real quick. Oh, I had it up and I lost it. Give me a second. Just had it. Here's one of the pastors that she called. And how they responded.
I don't apologize to the devil. Sometimes Christians get so weak, you forgot we're supposed to rebuke evil. I rebuke you in Jesus' name. So if you're watching this morning, repent while you have a chance. But for my part, I forgive you. I really do. Because the devil is using you like a pair of galoshes.
Churches get scammed all of the time. And so if you think the response to churches saying no to helping baby formula is to tax the churches, we spend $1 trillion a year on our military.
If somebody walked in the back door right now asking for a can of baby formula, how many of you would help? Just show by a raise of hands. There's your social experiment. That's who GBC is.
Now, let me tell you something about Living Faith. We fed thousands of people. Thousands, not hundreds, thousands. I can't tell you how much money have gone out. Our staff gives money out of their pocket. Where we had women with children come here on a Wednesday night, nowhere to live. Ask Sister LaToya, I give her my credit card. Go over here, stay a week, stay a week.
Yeah, those were the responses from the churches. He called her basically evil. He went on to call her a witch. I mean, back in the day, if anybody, member of the clergy, way back in the day, called you a witch, you would just get burned at the stake. But, you know, that's cool. The other guy who goes out and says, hey, if somebody called you from some baby formula, in church, with his parishioners. That's what they call it, right? Parishioners. He asked, and scans the camera around. Nobody raised their hand that they would give that lady some baby formula. This is what we're dealing with. Now, she did get some overwhelmingly positive responses. She got them from many Baptist churches and Catholic churches, and she got a lot of yeses from mosques. But these guys here, man, they're kind of trash, guys. I'm going to say that. I'm going to go ahead. If anybody can defend it, please let me know.
If I say like this, like I said a minute ago, you fight and you try to show your justice as being a good and true Christian by fighting, and the biggest thing, even on this election, was about abortion and the woman having the right of choice. And I said, if you're concerned about a child that haven't even been born yet, that you raise so much hell about, then this is the proof of the day. For me, the joke is you're talking about abortion, but at the same time, you're aborting kids that's already living and past 20 weeks. And this is proof of what's going on with the shutdown and the health care and the SNAP and everything else when it comes to the government.
Not only that, when they killed the USAID,
that's the shame.
That everybody was like, oh, we need to cut these government programs, USAID, we need to keep America first. You know how many children died as a result of USAID being shut down? Huh? Over 400,000 children have died as a result of USAID being shut down. To date. Damn near 500,000 children have already died from USAID being shut down.
Yeah, but that's what I said. They won't cast that out to the world, would they?
No. But we do right here. Talking shit, getting clicks. We live. We'll let you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, even I think that these people, even faced with their own hypocrisy, will find no type of accountability for themselves or their actions. They've been shown by one of the leaders of our country that is supposed to be in a leadership position that they can say whatever the hell they want to say and do whatever the hell they want to do, and everything's going to just be fine for them. This is trickle down. This is trickle. The only trickle down we're getting is this, and shit and piss is trickling down on us, and a lot of people are becoming affected by it. I myself have 3 umbrellas, a raincoat, and rain boots to keep myself away from it. And we all should. I'll let somebody borrow an umbrella. Because I have 3, I will lend out 2 of my umbrellas. Because that's what I get down. Got the Christian in my soul. Unlike these people.
I don't know if it's true. Just this past Halloween, it was, I heard the word that instead of the kids wanting candy, and people was putting out what's called the oodle for noodles.
I did see a kid with oodles and noodles real quick on like one of those YouTube shorts, and they were complaining. People couldn't put out the candy. If you could put out, I don't know, a 10-pack of oodle noodles is still probably like $1 still. That's 10 cents. Do you know how much? Oh my God! Like the small candies, you get a little mixed bag of small candy, maybe 86 small pieces in there. That's like $50. Everything is, and we know we already know that the chocolate ain't the chocolate that it used to be. The milk, any of those ingredients are all trash compared to how they used to be. We know things don't taste the same like they used to. And I would just, chalk it up to me, being older and having all of this beautiful silver hair in my beard. But the truth is, bro, we've been getting suckered. We've been getting lower quality for more money. We work longer hours and increase productivity by 30% over these last 30 years. And look at the pay rates. They don't change. This is like, I believe it's an experiment. Experiment to see how long they can press us and press us and press us until we lose our shit. What do you think? What do you think? Should we just go ahead and lose our shit right now? Or do we have to be patient and calm and wait for this change?
We've been set up ever since COVID. And I look at it now, and the biggest thing in the division of this country, and I say again, the biggest wake-up call when it comes to white America and the so-called poor or middle-class whites, and even we know the history of this country when it came to from slavery to segregation, Jim Crow, and everything else. The saddest part that white America needs to wake up and recognize it again. And those, and I'm not saying all, but the so-called MAGA party, I even separate the MAGA party from the Republican Party. I said Republicans, it just goes to show they're the fearful whites that fear MAGA and would do anything that they're planning on doing with their Project 25. And the Democrats has come to the point that their bark is no bite. And when the so-called everyday Joe white American wake up and realize it has nothing to do when it comes to black and white and racism, when it comes to the wealth and the rich people of this country who is white. The best thing that they have figured out after slavery, especially freeing the so-called black people in America, is they recognize that this country still run off a master and slavery, and that's why we almost have the king calling himself the king who's supposed to be the president of the United States. Is just prove that finally they found the what they call the king dragon, the dragon that they hope for in the country all these years from the separation since the Civil War. When they wake up and recognize that we're all black, white, brown, yellow, when it comes to America, we're all considered, and the best game that they came on is economic slavery. And the biggest joke I just heard them talking about when it comes to economic slavery is they saying, hey, this is how we going to help people that complain about they want homes and want to buy a house. We going to make mortgages 50
years. Oh, my God.
So, come on.
We're going to make mortgages 50 years.
Me the average person that reach a point in their life is between 30 and 40 years old. So that 40-year mortgage, that 50-year mortgage, ain't nothing but you renting your own house for 50 years that you're not going to end up paying for it if you live long enough to pay for it.
And you don't have a maintenance man to fix all this stuff. Yeah, it is. It's all a scam. It's all a scam.
But what can you say? You know?
It's a scam ran by people.
And I just like to comment you on this show, especially people that has podcasts, because you see what they did in the media. I think last week when Frank was talking about the music company, same thing they doing to the media and entertainment, and especially the news. We see they fired and got rid of most of newscasters that was working for the major companies. They kicked them out, and what they did, they came to YouTube. They came to the media where people such as your show and through other podcasts show that just have the opportunity to have a conversation and talk about the things that's going on in the world with everyday, normal people. So we're not talking to people that's celebrities or rich or in politics or under the fingernail that they're afraid to say what they want to say because now they get their paycheck and they want to keep it. So they sell their soul. And the sad part now, and this is what I hope for these type podcasts such as yourself in the future, that we give the opportunity of people such as myself, everyday blow that's living and seeing for themselves, that can come on and express their feelings, that can share what's actually happening in their community, that we don't get to the point that everything that we hear and see now is the same brainwash they put in our heads, that why Trump can say anything he want to say, because what he tells you is fake news. Everything is fake news except for what he said. So I'm begging people to call in and express themselves and have the opportunity on We and other podcast shows that I looked at, that we're the one that's not getting the attention. And we'll be the first one to get blocked out when we start to get attention. So this is where we're at now, even with entertainment.
I watch this. I believe we get attention. We get attention. We do. I see like concepts and arguments and framing and segments that I've created other places. I've seen this. I've seen like extra viewers. I'm like, oh, where are these extra viewers? I know it. I know they're watching. That's why I still do it, because I know.
Oh, yeah, they watching.
I know y'all watching. I know y'all watching.
Just to let you know,
It's a farm league.
I'm one of those true supporters that everybody that's on my Facebook message that I reach out to, I'm pleading that I would like to see one of their names come up in the chat and not just sit back and be the observer. But,
oh yeah, you gotta tell them, because it's the we. It's we. There's no we without you. What Flashback is saying is totally correct. This isn't like I can sit up here and talk or whatever, but as you see, well, I'm cutting you off right now, but I will pick up the phone and let you just go, because we all need that. You need an outlet. You need a place where you can be heard, and then you can come back and rewatch it and replay your part and share it. And you know, I mean, just being able to talk and get this stuff off your chest is a great help. Also, we come in here. You got some good ideas of what we should do about that? Bring them to the table. I'm not just sitting here week in, week out complaining about what's going on. Damn it, we got to do something about this. And beyond, continuing to hound your congressmen and your local politicians and everything like that is just one step of it. There's other things that need to be organized and created for us to survive what's going on yesterday, let alone what's going on tomorrow. And for a lot of us, we're behind. We're behind because whatever. Because we didn't do our job or whatever the excuse is. And there's a lot of catching up that needs to be done. And one of the best ways for us to catch up and to get ahead of the game is by working together. And then you can't just come and work together without having that meeting of the minds, figuring out our strengths, figuring out our weaknesses, and then, doing something about it. So if anybody has any idea, any plan just to make life better for humanity, please share it with us. Please call in 313-825-5557. Please throw it in the chat. I got live chat and I don't get to see them, but when I get to rewatch the shows, I get to see the live chat coming through again and, you know, get ideas and good stuff from you guys, you know. But that's one of the ones, the next step of the movement is bringing everybody together and creating a good three-prong list, a 3-point list of 3 things that we absolutely, positively need, you know, and then divvying up the work and getting to it. And then meeting back with progress or setbacks. So I would like to say this is crazy. Or else, you know.
But the only one I said to the day, when it came to economy, I think all of us as kids growing up playing the game Monopoly. And one thing I can say, I can remember as long as playing Monopoly, we never finished the game. We just whoever ended up with the most money after we got tired was the winner. And the only thing I can say to the day, that's a reality of that game and who played it very well and who actually, even to the point, think about it, from Atlantic City to the Broadwalk to Las Vegas to overseas, all the way down to the get out of jail card. The only one that won the game is Trump.
I mean, what do you want? You want the children to say yeah to that? You want me to let the children say yeah to that?
As like you say,
it ain't gonna happen. Flashback.
Talking trash.
He started playing Monopoly. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he was stealing properties. I'm sure he had to have the car. I'm sure he was stealing the extra $500 out of the bank. You know, I'm sure he was doing that. As a little kid, he was throwing rocks into baby carriages to hurt babies. We're dealing with a psycho here. We're dealing with an effing psycho. Most people, we get like, oh man, I see you. You got it. You got Boardwalk. Every time I go around the board, I'm paying money. I'm running out. Let's get. You flip the board. I've never finished a game of Monopoly. I've been up and winning it. But you don't know what that next dice roll is going to be like.
Yeah. I'd say like this. The biggest joke and what happened in the position that Trump in and becoming president again, the joke to America when they got fed up with so-called politics and politicians and, you know, all the game and stuff. We want somebody in here that's not a politician. We want somebody in here that's really down to earth and know what's going on in the world. And the biggest thing is with Trump, he's a businessman. He's a millionaire. He know how to make money and run business. And the craziest thing I said about a businessman that's different from politics, which he had proven me right. The first thing I said when they was crying and talk about they want a businessman and want Trump to be president because he's not a politician. It's the fact that the biggest thing that a businessman wants, even anybody that goes into business, they want the business because they want to be the owner. They want to have ownership. And what you see in front of your face today and true business is what Trump running when it comes to the country is that he just proven right now with the shutdown and how he's treating poor people and the underprivileged in our country right now. What he proved is he is a businessman. he's a messed up businessman because when he's doing his own business, you see how many times that he fell and caused other people to lose their business in their situation. But get straight to the point. A businessman wants his own ownership. And since you put a businessman as the president of the United States, he don't want to help the country. He don't want to make the country better for you and I. He wants to own America, and he's working to own America. And that's why the closest thing that he is as a businessman is, as we look at him today, a dictator, a king, control and own everything. And that's what we got. And the last thing I'd say before blow my brains out is that if this country was ran off of slavery, and the biggest battle in this country was over slavery, to the ignorant white folks out here that still think white supremacy and everything, and the MAGA and all this stuff I see now in 2025, you big fools, bigger fools than blacks, is that, don't you understand, you are a economic slave like we have been all our time since we was freed for so-called slavery. So now welcome to the club. And if now that you see this is how things is going for you, this is how it's been going for us ever since we've been in the country. The only thing that you can truly do if you want to make this country great again is get that idea out of your head that we're segregated, that you're supreme, and that things going to work better for you than it worked for us. And I'm done. Thank you for letting me vent and say what I want to say on my mind. Thank you, we.
I could have sworn I've been dropped that call. That's crazy. Give it up for Flashback. And speaking of white supremacy, major motion picture actress had a chance to decline, and this is how it went.
Really let other people define who I am.
We're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So, were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad.
Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself?
Yeah.
Okay, and the criticism of the content...
All right, that's Sydney Sweeney, and she is going through it right now because she refuses to renounce white supremacy. As you guys know, Sydney Sweeney did a slew of ads for American Eagle jeans, and one of the ads was based on what a lot of people call eugenics. Let me see if I can find it, because I had it and now it's gone. Yep, so she refused to apologize. But let me show you some of these ads. That's one. I want that. Be like a couple minutes here. Couple seconds. I think this is it.
A well-known clothing retailer is getting caught.
Isn't it? That wasn't the one. No, that's a WCU. Rock with me for a second, people. I had it clipped. All right, I'll show you one.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the... I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
Yeah, so that's just one of the ads right there, but there are more.
A well-known clothing retailer is getting caught up in...
This is crazy, because this is not the ad either.
A well-known clothing retailer is getting caught up in cultural politics. Some people complain the new ad by American Eagle featuring...
Right?
That play on words. Jeans. Sydney Sweeney has very jeans.
You see what I did there, right?
That play on words.
All right, so anyway, let me tell you what. In this ad campaign, there's about 6 or 7 ads where Sydney Sweeney talks about her jeans. Sometimes it's just her standing in the jeans, moving around as the camera moves around her. Sometimes she's just saying, these are my jeans. But the original one was saying something like, oh, I got blonde hair, blue eyes. These are good genes. And it's a play on genes from denim, the genes for your genetics genes, the gene with the G compared to the gene with the J. A lot of people saw it as a racist, white supremacy dog whistle, right? Because I'm talking about genes and genes. And they said this because, ever since the reemergence of, the emergence of Donald Trump and the reemergence of white supremacy, we've seen everything from Nazi salutes, right, to people walking through parks with tiki torches talking about Jews will not replace them. Sorry, I had to yell at the dog real quick. Anyway, so it says, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, playing on both words. Anybody could imagine that. So with everything else that goes on, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's no big deal. Just like they said, Elon didn't throw no Nazi salute. That's a Roman salute. That's a blah, blah, blah salute. He's just saying hi to the people. And then them freezing people going like waving and they're getting their hands stuck here and saying, oh, look, that's a Nazi salute. Then when you play it, you're like, oh, obviously that's not a Nazi salute. But obviously Elon threw up not 1, but 2 Nazi salutes. Right? So people are saying, like, this is not about eugenics. It's just a gene ad. Why are you so mad? People are offended. People get offended at people being offended, which I think is so unnecessary. If you're offended at something and I'm offended because you're offended at something, that is very unnecessary. Obviously we have 2 different, but you know what? I'm a human being. I'm a human being. And a lot of these people aren't. So when I played that voice of, so it became a big controversy. A lot of people were like, yo, Sydney Sweeney is a racist. She's racist. She's MAGA, even though she did have like a country themed birthday party, which is one thing. My dog, you're killing my light right now. But anyway, she had a country themed party and she had some guests over that had the red MAGA hats. Pictures were taken, and ever since she's been embroiled in this whole white supremacy debate. So when I showed you that interview of the woman saying, hey, let's talk about this jeans ad, and Sydney Sweeney saying, hey, it's just a jeans ad, I don't have anything to say, she could have actually said, hey, I understand that people out there are having an issue saying that it's something about eugenics or white supremacy, and I would like to assure you, I do not believe in any type of white supremacy tropes. I love everybody, blah, blah, blah. And then she said that, it'd have been cool. But she did not say that. She didn't say anything. And it's crazy because the reason is a talking point is because the last 3 movies she's done, and I believe every movie she's done, has absolutely, positively bombed. And Sydney Sweeney is like the new Hollywood it girl, if you will. So we got controversy here. And it seems that Zendaya, if you guys know, Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya are on the show. What is that show called? I watched it. It was a crazy watch. Oh, it's called Euphoria. And Euphoria is basically about a girl who is a drug addict and all of her high school friends and associates, and they basically talk about how screwed up their little lives are and how screwed up they are now and all the screwed up things they're doing. And let me tell you what, it is, well, season 1 starts with, so they're still in high school. Obviously, these are adult actors playing children, but the themes are very adult. Like, there was an issue with 90210 back in the day when I was a young kid, because at the prom scene, when they were in prom, they were going to have sex. So they were talking about sex, and they're talking about safe sex in 90210, and it was hugely controversial. And let me tell you what, if those same people over there that were, getting mad at the 90210 episode seen even 5 minutes of Euphoria, their hearts and brains would effing explode. I say all of this because Zendaya reportedly is refusing to do any promo pictures or anything with Sydney Sweeney for the upcoming series of Euphoria, which Zendaya happens to be an executive producer on. So that is what's going on with that. I bring that all up because it's really what Flashback was talking about, this whole white supremacy thing. It is costly. It costs us our time, our resources, productivity. It costs money. Racism is costly. It is. You know, what I really think is basically the villains. I mean, it's not American Eagle, even though they're running these ads. It's not the models. It's not the stylists. It's maybe some MAGA chaos agents who grabbed the harmless ad and turned it into a cultural war victory lap. Yeah. Do you think people are actually just manufacturing outrage? Or is there a certain amount of people in the population that are extra sensitive to these type of things, that can hear these dog whistles loud and clearly? I don't know. But we'll figure it out, and we'll get back to you next week. That's all I can do right now, because Loveless not here. I need Love in my house right now. But I also need you guys to hit like, share, subscribe, and give us call-ins, give us feedback, let us know how we're doing, give us your opinion. It's crazy. She could have just said, yo, listen, I'm not a racist. I'm not about that white supremacy stuff. I was just doing a jeans ad. That's all. She didn't say that. I mean, like, that church could have been like, listen, we don't have baby formula, but baby, where you at? Let me send somebody over there real quick. Let me send a DoorDash over there with some Similac for you and your baby. Let's do that. We're not talking about little neighborhood churches, 3-pew churches. We're talking about big ass, huge ass mega churches. Couldn't send that lady a can of formula. That's what we're talking about. Oh my God. We're talking about how a lot of people think that over 40 days of a government shutdown, where the Democrats were like, listen, we're not opening this government until we get some concessions so people can live and have medical care. Seems like they caved. And then Democratic leadership is telling us to hang with them, and we're jerks if we are mad at them caving. That's crazy. Oh, and then, we got more evidence that Donald Trump was mixed up in some fuckery with Jeffrey Epstein, that he knew what was going on, and that he was on that island. I mean, unless Jeffrey Epstein bought it to Mar-a-Lago, which is a whole nother conversation. But hell, that's what we got this week. I'll see you guys next week.
Jeans? free, yes I'm free, and I'm on my way. This is the I'm for the play, for the sea, this stuff for you. Love you like this, see you soon. It's a day, shall it be, all your dreams come true.
All right, hit me up at the Real Talking Getting for shirts.